Hello, family. Welcome to the castle of MathsFanatics247. Let's have a look at this algebra question from a past paper. Okay, so on 1.1, they want us to solve for x, right? They want us to solve for x. Okay, so here I have two brackets. So the other bracket is here, just that they don't show it, right? Two brackets multiplied together and a 0 on the other side of the equation. So this rule, I can only use it only and only if I have this case. This side, I must have brackets attached to each other, and this side, I must have 0, right? So I'm going to say x equals to 0 or 4 minus x equals to 0. So you take the first bracket, you say equals to 0. The second bracket equals to 0. If you have three brackets, you take all the three, you equate them to 0. You solve them separately. But you can only do the separation method only and only if you have 0 there, okay? Otherwise, you'll have to multiply in and get a quadratic formula and so on. Perfect. So this part is already done. And then this side, because the x is negative, you see, I have 4 minus x. I can just simply take the x that side to make it positive. So I'm going to have 4 equals to positive x, which is my second solution. Okay, this is an important rule to note. No, please write it down somewhere on your notes. If you have brackets multiplying together on one side of the equation and 0 on the other side, you need 0 only, né? No any other number. Okay, perfect. So we can go to the second one now. Okay, the second one, I have 2x squared plus 5x equals to 1. So obviously I need to have a 0 here, right? So I'm going to have 2x squared plus 5x minus 1 equals to 0. Okay. For the fact that they said 2 decimal places here, I already know that it's an irrational solution, a trinomial. Ne? The solutions are going to be irrational. So I have to use a quadratic formula. Okay. But my advice is if you have a trinomial like this, you can always just use a quadratic formula, right? But I'll be showing you all the methods that you can use throughout the videos. Okay. Perfect. So in this case, we have to use quadratic formula. Remember, they say ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, right? So you need your trinomial to be in this form first before you can use a quadratic formula, of which we already have here. So I can see that my a is 2, my b is positive 5, and my c is negative 1. So having all this, I can easily go to my quadratic formula now. So I have x equals to negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? Now we're going to do substitution. So I have negative. I use brackets when I substitute. My b is what? It's 5. Then plus minus is going to be 5 in brackets squared minus 4. My a is 2. And then my c is negative 1 all over 2a, which is 2, right? And then now we can easily get our solution from the calculator, right? Okay, let's see now. Let's see. So I'm going to press that, put this on a calculator, right? So the plus minus, I usually just start with a plus and later on come and put a minus. Né? And then, which is 5 squared minus 4, 2, negative 1 over 2 in bracket 2. Then the solution is, okay, let's see. What is the solution? 0.19, okay? So the first solution is x equals to 0.19. 19, right? Or x equals to, we need to get the second solution now, which we're going to just go back here and put a minus, right? With a minus there, we get x equals to negative 2.69. Then you're done with that question. You should get your marks there. Perfect. So now we're going to the next question, right? Perfect. So this I can underline. So we're going to do 1.2 here. Okay. So 1.2, I have 1.2.1, which is x minus 2 equals to 2 minus x. So the equations that involve the square roots, you have to always make sure that the square root is isolated. By isolated, I mean it's by itself on one side of the equation. It's by itself on one side of the equation, right? In this case, we are already given the equation in an isolated form, basically. So from here, because I have the square root, I have to remove it by squaring. So we remove a root by the opposite of a root, which is the exponent. So a square root will remove it by a square. So whatever I do on the left, I have to do on the right. Okay. Which then becomes this side, I just have x minus 2 equals to, this side I need to FOIL. Let's see. So I need two brackets because of the square. Then I have x minus 2 equals to, so this times that will give me 4. This times that will give me negative 2x. Then I come with this one. This times that is negative 2x. This times that, it's positive x squared, right? Awesome. Now let's see. We need some space here. Okay. Okay, I'll just try to write on the side here. Let's see. Okay. So now, here I'm going to have 0. I'm moving everything that side. Let me just rewrite whatever was there. 2x minus 2x plus x squared. This one will be negative x now. Negative x. This one will be positive 2. So positive 2 there. Then I have 0 equals to, the x squared does not have a mate. So we'll just put it there. This one goes with that one and that one, which is minus 5x, right? Then this one and that one gives us 6. Perfect. So this one, I can see that it's going to give me rational roots. But if you want to, you can still use a quadratic formula here to get your answers. But I'll show you the method that I use to see if it's going to give me a rational root. So you take, remember here it's 1, right? You take this number, you multiply with the last one. What do we get? 1 times 6 is 6, right? And then you do this. You write all possible multiplications of 6, and they go in doubles basically. So it's 1, 1, 6, 6. Then it's 2, 3, 2, 3. So there must always be a double pair. 1, 1, 6, 6, 2, 3, 2, 3. You'll see why. Because here I can have negative 1 multiplied by negative 6. It will still give me that. Or negative 3 multiplied by negative 2. It will still give me positive 6. Out of all these possible multiplications, you're going to take the one that is going to give you minus 5 when you add. When you add them, they must give you the middle one. In this case, is this ones. You see? These ones. Sharp. So I have 0 equals to x minus 2, then x minus 3. Therefore, x equals to, also remember here we have to say x minus 2 equals to 0, or x minus 3 equals to 0. You see this part here is that part there. You see, you have two brackets and a 0. You separate the brackets. So x equals to 2 or x equals to 3, right? And then we always need to test our solutions. Ne? Perfect. So now let's see. If I substitute 2 here, this side I get 0. Because I'm going to have square root 2 minus 2, which is square root of 0, which is 0. And then this side I get 0 as well. So 2 is working, right? So 2 is a solution. Now let's put 3. If I put 3 here, I get 3 minus 2, which is 1, which is square root of 1, which is 1. So this is what I mean, guys. If you put 3 there, you get this, which gives you that. Now let's put 3 this side. Gives us -1. Do you see it? So this part is not equals to that part. So this is not part of the solution. You take it out. Okay. Perfect. Now let's answer this one here. Right. If you see the word hence in mathematics question, or sometimes otherwise, né? What they're actually saying is this. You have to use this question because these two questions are somehow linked. So you're just gonna have to check how linked are they, how related are they. Ne? So I'm seeing a square root alone here, and I'm seeing a square root alone there. Right? I have the -2 there. I have the -2 here. Okay. So where there was x, basically, they replaced by this part. Do you see it? Which means now I can easily solve it now. I can say p squared minus p equals to x, right? But remember my x value is 2. So I can say p squared minus p equals to 2. Then I can say p squared minus p minus 2 equals to 0, right? Then here you have two options. You can use quadratic formula, or you can use this easy method here. Ne? This one that I showed you here, right? So you take this number, which is 1, you times it by -2, I get -2, right? And then obviously 2 is 2 and 1. Remember I said it goes double. So I can have this times that gives me that or that, right? So I'm going to look the ones that are going to give me -1 when I add them, which is this one. So I have p minus 2 and then p plus 1. Therefore, p minus 2 equals to 0 or p plus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, p equals to 2 or p equals to -1, right? And then what you're going to do, you're going to test both solutions then. In this case, they will both work. Why do they work? Because they are all, remember we said this equation is equals to 2 and 2 works. So these ones should work. Does it make sense? Awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed with 1.3 and 1.4 in the next video. Let's take a break. Thank you very much for being focused. And don't forget to hit the subscription button and share with family and friends. Danko.